Hey everyone, this is Nick. This is going to be the start of a new series where I share musical concepts with me that have been very useful for me thus far. Today I'm going to be talking about open triads. If you're wondering what an open triad is, first we have to define what a triad is. A triad is any three sets of notes that are usually stacked in thirds. We have four qualities. We have major, we have minor, we have augmented, and we have diminished. For these, we would call each note 1, 3, and 5. A C major triad would be C, E natural, and G natural. So that's what we would call a closed triad. An open triad is any triad that exceeds the span of an octave. So in order to do that, what we're going to do is take the third, in this case it's E, we're going to move it up an octave. This is also the basis for the typical bar chord sound. So these open triads are great for many different genres, from jazz to pop to hip hop to rock to singer-songwriter music. What I think is really cool about them is that, as the name implies, they're really open sounding. They only have the essential notes of the chord and they're not too cluttered, so they don't really get in the way. To me, that's a very, very useful tool. They also sound really cool. So here are the four different kinds of open triads. We have major, minor, then we have diminished, then we have augmented. We also have them available with the root on the A string. So we have major, then we have minor, and then we have diminished, and then we have augmented. So if you're wondering how do I get comfortable with these open triads, I have a few exercises for you. We're going to take it up a scale. So the first exercise, we're going to stick to only the low E string and we're going to go up the G major scale. So the pattern of major scale chords: major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, and diminished. So we have G major, then A minor, then B minor, then C major, then D major, E major, F sharp diminished, and then G major again. And then we're going to do the same thing but on the A string now, and we're going to use C major. So our chords are C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C major. Okay, so then we're going to do the G major scale, but we're going to use both of the open triad voicings. We're going to use the ones with the root on the E string and the ones with the root on the A string. It'll sound a little bit like this. So the final way to practice them is to change up how we play the voicing. So if you're familiar with the guitar, you will know that there are many different ways to play one single chord. Those are all different ways we can play C major. So we're going to introduce a second way of playing open triads. So on the E string we have open triads like this. We can also play them like this. This one's a bit more of a stretch, but can be useful in certain scenarios. So this is the major, this is minor, this is diminished, and then we have augmented. So now we're going to go up the G major scale. We're going to alternate between the different voicings, and we're going to use voicings with roots on the E string and voicings with roots on the A string. Another thing to consider is how you're playing them with your right hand. So the way that I typically play this is I use a pick and then I use my three fingers, my ring, middle, and pinky. So it's gonna look a little bit like this. I believe that's what's known as hybrid picking. So if you're playing open triads, I use my pick for the E string, my middle finger for the A string, and my ring finger for the G string. Now you can also play this just with your fingers, where I use my thumb for the E string, my index finger for the A string, my middle finger for the G string. You can also use a pick. Now the way I'm getting a clear sound without hitting any of the extra notes is with my left hand. I'm doing kind of a bar, but I'm muting the other strings. Here's the scale using a pick. One final exercise we can do is play up the scale with arpeggios. An arpeggio is where you play every single note individually rather at the same time. Here's the chord regularly strummed. Here's the chord arpeggiated. So I'm going to be playing the first time with a pick. We can arpeggiate them up like that, or we can arpeggiate them up and then arpeggiate them down. Then I suggest you play them in many different rhythms. So for example, here's the open triads and triplets. Finally, just for fun, let's play the open triads with eighth notes without taking a pause, and I'm gonna play it a bit faster, alternating between up and down. So when you get to that level, it almost sounds like two melodies at the same time. Now I'm gonna improvise a little bit using the open triads within the scale. Thanks for watching this video. If you made it this far, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be posting more videos in this nature. The next video I'm going to make is talking about chord inversions and how we can use it to spice up chord progressions. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. You can also play open triads on